Hello, I'm Robert Dunham. I'm the owner and founder of ValuePoint Valuation Services. I've been in this business about 30 years, and I've learned a few things in that time that I've tried to pass along to people that I train and people that I employ as a team. I want to talk to you a little bit about why we're different and why that might be interesting and compelling for you. I founded this company on three basic principles. Instead of looking at the world as if 3 sales will always solve your dilemma for valuation, what I do is work with 3 building blocks, and they're simple and yet profound. The first is market analysis is necessary for any appraisal or any problem connected with real estate. Market analysis gives us the support for highest and best use. Pretty common term, but widely misunderstood. And it's only after market analysis and highest and best use that we're able to really provide an opinion of value. This is a process that we're talking about, and the process also involves people. And that's the way I work in this business. I've put together a team of highly qualified people who are thinkers, and we work together in a group. And that process that we work on is that same market analysis, highest and best use, and market value process. You can't have market value unless you get out on the street, and we start every assignment out on the street, just like we are today. And the reason for that is you got to see what's going on, you got to talk to people, you got to actually not look at reams of data and think that that's going to give you an answer. Now it's important to know who we work for and what kind of work we do. One of my pet peeves is that everybody in the appraisal and valuation business is a generalist. They appraise hotels, they appraise apartment buildings, they appraise industrial buildings. We don't so much concentrate on all of them as we do on a few. And we like the difficult properties. And the circumstances under which we do our appraisals, I think, are the most compelling part of our association with our clients. One of the things that we don't do is largely we're not engaged in mortgage loan work for underwriting purposes. We've all seen just in the last 18 months how that can turn bad, very bad. But our work is primarily for litigation purposes. We work with attorneys as an expert witness, providing valuation opinions and highest and best use opinions for, as I said, tax appeal, eminent domain, partnership disputes, corporate disputes. So what is it that makes us different? Most appraisers, or in fact most experiences you may have had with appraisers, have involved getting your house appraised, but you probably dealt with someone who has to be licensed to be an appraiser because everybody does. But the interesting irony in that is that you may have to be licensed to be an appraiser, but everybody has an opinion about value. I think that it's a whole lot more important to know why and when and under what circumstances a property has value than to just know the value. Because as I said, everybody's got an opinion about value. It's our job now, and it's the time for us now more than ever to step up as market analysts and be a part of the process that provides meaningful and rich conclusions to appraisal problems. And that's the kind that I really like. I like working on the things that nobody else wants to work on. I like working on the things that nobody has the answer to, because our process is what serves us. You know what? Words are cheap, and we're here on the street, and I said that's where appraisals begin. Let's take a look at some of these projects and some of these situations and bring it to life. Because right now the market is abundant and rich in opportunities to study what can go wrong and to provide the opportunity to analyze when that may go right again. Look at this. This is really a great example of what happens when real estate markets become speculative markets and not markets built on balanced supply and demand. That's what we do. That's what we analyze. I've told you that before. But here's the deal here. Here's a situation where speculators bought this property, moved all of the tenants out in anticipation of building a condo project. I don't see any condo project. That was 2 years ago. And I don't see any customers. I don't see any merchants. And look at this. No trespassing, no loitering. That's the message. And that message is going to stay the same message until such a time as there is new demand for downtown space, not necessarily condos. Over my shoulder looms the dome. The the Dome, subject of lots of controversy recently. It's an interesting real estate story as well. It goes back to being even more interesting if you trace it back 20 years to the development of the site to begin with in a largely industrial, low-income area. Now, the baseball team wants to move. And part of the rationale for saying we can do that is that there will be people who will want to buy this land and develop it. If you take a look around at the land that is associated with the neighborhood here, there's a lot of vacant parcels already. And we are in the midst of a crisis in terms of supply and demand. It's a little hard to imagine that there's anyone who's going to want these parcels for development, because here's the principle. First of all, land has value because of what you can put on it, primarily, either agricultural or buildings. But in this case, it's an urban environment, so whatever we can do to develop this site, that's what's going to determine how much someone would pay for it.